Hey guys, Remy here from Remy Tech Lab, and today we're unboxing the Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. This is part of Samsung's mid-range phone lineup, but honestly, Samsung's A series have been getting crazy good lately. People always ask me, Remy, what budget phone should I buy? So let's check this out and see if it's worth your money. Here's what you get in the box. Here's the Galaxy A36 5G. You get a SIM ejector tool, some paperwork, a USB-C cable. There's no charger, of course. So one thing to know about Samsung's lineup is that the Galaxy A series are actually their most popular phones worldwide. These A series will regularly outsell Samsung's flagship S series. And that's because most people honestly do not need a $2,000 phone. They just want something that's reliable, with a good screen, has solid battery life, and a decent camera. And that's exactly what the A series is designed to do. Okay, so my first impressions initially when I started using this phone, the design actually looks super premium for an A series phone. It has the flat sides, it's got a clean camera cutout, the weight in the hand feels solid. This weighs approximately 195 grams, and for the build quality, it's got your plastic frames with a glass front and back made of Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Here's the SIM card slot, charging port. It's got a speaker. It actually has dual speakers, so one is here, and they sound very loud. You also get an IP67 dust and water resistance rating. So that means that this phone can be submerged in up to 1 meter of water for a maximum of 30 minutes. The buttons feel nice and clicky. The side profile is really nice. It's very thin, very impressed. The Galaxy A36 5G has a nice 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz with Full HD Plus resolution. So that just means that it's higher than 1080p. It's an enhanced version for these taller screens. This phone also has a peak brightness of 1200 nits. On this phone, scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything just feels super smooth. Inside, this phone is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 processor. And it's not a flagship chip, but honestly, most people don't need one. That means solid everyday performance, social media, multitasking, and gaming will have no problem. So as for the RAM and storage, you get either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM with either 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, and that's totally dependent on the model. So this specific model has 6 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of storage. The Samsung Galaxy A36 5G features a 5000 mAh battery with upgraded 45 watt wired fast charging. And this allows the phone to charge from 0 to 60% in roughly 30 minutes and a full charge in just over an hour. Unfortunately, this phone does not support native wireless charging. Overall, the battery life is solid. It's easily a full day for most people. For example, if you're like me and have long 12-hour work shifts, then this battery size actually matters way more than the camera. Alright, now let's talk about the camera setup. So on this phone, we have a 50 megapixel main camera sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, and a 5 megapixel macro lens. On the front, we have a 12 megapixel front selfie camera. You also get 5G connectivity, Android with Samsung One UI, you get an optical fingerprint sensor, and of course, stereo speakers, which sound great. Let's power it on. The Samsung AMOLED display already looks bright and sharp. Honestly, this feels like a mini flagship. We have a big AMOLED screen, smooth 120 Hz. There's a huge 5000 mAh battery, and the processor is pretty solid. For most people, this is probably all they'll ever need. So I live in Canada, BC, and the phone prices are getting ridiculous. Budget phones are just starting to make way more sense. Alright guys, full camera test, gaming test, and battery test coming soon on Remy Tech Lab. Comment below, should you buy the Galaxy A36 5G or save up for a flagship? Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you love phones, laptops, tablets, and real-world reviews.